And peace to the God, man. How you feeling, man?
Doing all right, maintaining, man. Just maintaining up and down world, man. Trying to tread water, just trying to keep going forward. So,
That's what's up. That's what's up.
how about
Yeah,
how
I'm
you?
trying to get on, man. Technology always give me a hard time. You see.
Yeah, no. I mean, I always try to look at it. I'm like, okay, well, at least right now it's free. Well, they're doing a subscription thing now. You heard about that shit?
No, what's the deal,
Oh,
man?
you can pay a monthly subscription for a blue check.
Oh, oh shit, like that now. So you don't have to do all the little super questions and shit anymore and
Now
whatnot.
you just pay $14.99, uh, and you got your blue check, $14.99 a month.
What's the use of that? There's no security in that, man. You could
They
be.
also they have a couple other features or whatever. Like you're supposed to get like actual access to Instagram support, which you should. Like, so you now have access to like people and shit. I mean, it's some bullshit. It's they're basically so the social media they're losing money because advertisers are the prime you know driving force for that. So that fluctuates. So this is obviously way more steady, right? You know what I mean? And obviously you have some people that are gonna be like, oh,
Yeah,
so
it'll be less ads now and shit now. So, people
so.
gonna misuse it as always, man.
Of course, man. The goofiness we're caught up in, and we're gonna get into it. So, welcome. This is episode 26.
Yeah. Hey,
Constitution, brother J. Jamal, and yeah, we've been doing it in spite of technical difficulties, whatever, wildfires, all kinds of shit. So,
yeah, man, I've been through some crazy shit, man. For real.
we here, and we're excited. We come to you each and every first Wednesday of the month.
Mm.
Building on topics, related to hip hop, but obviously tying into life in general. And all of our past episodes are on our YouTube channel, Carrying the Culture YouTube channel. And yeah, so if you have questions, like again, this is a structured build. So try to in order to get the most out of it, try to keep your comments or questions related to the build, so we can all move at the same time. So
Okay.
let's get into it, man. My big up to our man, Sacred Hip Hop Culture Sec. He for the second month he's bailed me out as far as coming up with something to discuss. But my guy's always thinking. So we were talking. He's really into conscious rap and conscious hip hop and stuff. So we're going to kind of dig a little bit into some of the things that he brought up, and I got some things here, and obviously you can chime in and share. But first, I wanted to define. I always think this is important when we have anybody has a conversation, discussing things. Got to have make some definition. So, we've talked about it before on private shows. Before this show, let's define at least what we're saying when we mean conscious. And you can say what you mean when you mean conscious hip hop. What does that mean for you? Because there's a certain connotation that comes along with that.
Well, I mean, it's just in a nutshell, simply it should be inspirational. You know what I'm saying? It should, promote positive energy. If you listen to the radio now, it's the total opposite. I don't hear anything too much inspirational. You can give me a jewel, about what not to do and what, and where not to be at or whatever. But, I mean, when you're giving something that's inspirational that, people can keep unwrapping years and years later. To me, that's conscious. You're offering consciousness. You're offering a person to wake up. So when lyrics match that, that's not for everybody. When I looked at the Google today and I said, top 10 conscious female artists, and they would define it as Lil' Kim, and it was a list of names that I thought like, wow, it wasn't any kind of Bahamadia, it wasn't. It wasn't Jean Grey or Lauren or anything like that. I mean, Lauren was on the list, don't get me wrong. But I mean, that there's not enough visibility for, women who speak powerful lyrically. I think where conscious artists suffer the most is that they don't pay attention to the production process. You know what I'm saying? The process of making a favorite song rather than getting a clap for a cappella. You know what I'm saying? Because deep down spiritually, we don't care about the judgment. It's just about what we give off. But you gotta match the production frequency with your lyrics.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To project it more, not to veer off from what we're saying.
Yeah,
But
hold that thought. I'm gonna definitely get into that, the artistry of conscious music, because so we're gonna get into that. So I'm with you on that definition. I'll take it a slightly a step further, just for me. For me, I'll take it a step further and add on it as far as conscious to me means, it's a very definition, almost as like, awareness, thinking. So I don't necessarily need to be inspired, but I do need to think. And for me, that's why something that makes me think, makes me look at a different paradigm, makes me say, this is a different way of looking at it.
right.
This is a different shift. So it could be street oriented, but showing a different side of things. I like certain artists who clearly aren't doing dirt,
Right.
but they may share a story or paint a picture of where they're coming from. Not, and I'll do this to you, but it's like you can clearly tell they're doing it as an observer, some past shit and reflecting on stuff. So I'll take it a little step further with that, but I'm with you. So we wanted to define it because you and I have talked numerous times that it's basically what it wasn't for us. It's not necessarily, like you said, everyone's got to put on a dashiki and throw the fist up and charge the capital or anything, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's the point. It's never been defined.
Right.
See, when hip hop broke up, everybody was gangster, everybody was fashion or sexual or whatever case may be, but the consciousness never got defined at all. So that's part of the problem. I mean, that's why I did the Red Pill show, because I was like, look, the game is reset. When the COVID hit, nobody was working. All right, even the superstars couldn't work. So it was a slither in time right there to stick in to say, yo, we never had a conscious artist on the lineup straight televised like that, produced like that. You know what I'm saying? And it has opened some doors for me, to continue doing that shit. But I'm like, why not? Why hasn't that been the case? Especially if you celebrate, when self-destruction hits the waves and all this other shit, and everybody's so, oh, that's so positive. What's the next action after that? Are we going to make the radio stations give us an hour or two to break the monotony of the foolishness, bro? It's 24/7. I'm traveling right now, dog, and I listen to the radio stations. It's disgusting, bro. I thought I was on a satellite radio station, the shit that they're allowed to say on power stations nowadays. And I'm blown away, dog. I'm like, who opens the lid for the language to go crazy, especially on a public station? And then this is a federal situation, bro. This is something to where the communication is governed by that. If you go in there and insult somebody, that's a heavy thing on those public ways. But we get insulted by hearing the butt end of Black creativity all the time. Why wouldn't these artists be more in the forefront, man? I'm confused, and I'm confused at where people don't suggest that more. You got to use your voice, and you got to start boycotting this kind of shit, or it's never gonna end, dog.
You covered all my points. But that's good, because we're on the same page, man. Because I'm gonna take it a step further. Just go as an aside. We've seen it within TV, right? Like even all the way back. What was always on TV? The step and fetch it bullshit. Then it became like this always goofy black shit. It was never. The WB. Remember the WB network? That was just full of fuckery. Like the whole channel was just full of fuckery. So it's the same type of shit you see in the 40-ounce bottle at the bottom of the barrel creativity. You know what
Correct.
I mean?
Because remember, man, look, all of this shit is by people's support. So if it's a WB and you got 1,000 suburbs across the country saying, I love Superman Clark Kent show and I love the Buffy vampire and shit, they're you know what I'm saying? They're supporting and calling in and participating. We don't do that. For some reason, we just feel like, yo, it'll be on, whatever's supposed to be. somebody will figure out a way to put it up there. We have to be more interactive, bro. This social media means the social audience has to interact. They have to purchase. They have to get involved and show what they truly support, or the foolishness is going to keep winning. You know, white folks love to see us goofy, man. I don't give a fuck. You know, and it's proven from the beginning of time. All the shucking and jiving and the blackface bullshit, all of that, they love to see black folks on goofy, dog. You know, and it's whack. And that's where the boycott, to me, should begin. You know, and a new roster of artists should step forward, bro. I'm never going to stop in that effort, dog. I know too many people that bust incredible. And it's not even about their lyrics anymore. It's about now combining that with producers who can make hooks for artists like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's hard. How you put a hook on a universal artist that's pulling it from the strings, the spoken word, and all kind of different things. You know, it's so much to build on because so much hasn't been spoken about. So it's hard for producers to find hooks that match and for artists to bend that low to just focus on one frequency to make a hit record.
Right. So that's going to lead me to the bigger part of this conscious music, quote unquote, have to sound good.
Yes.
And yes, I was going to say, I would think it does, because listen, I've heard people say meaningful shit over, it's music, it's considered music. And it's like, I can't fuck with it though, because it's the beats all trash or whatever. You know, the whole shit's just but what they're saying actually makes. But so to me, that's as a fan, I still think if you're making music, it still needs to be artistically, sonically pleasing.
Yeah, and also it can't be too heady. All right, you can't be CNN on a track, like, to report what's happening in the world, and that you got to be creative. You got to be like Marvin Gaye, a person that can say sexual healing and you get top 100 in American Standard, and you talking about some wild sexual activity, and you got it over people's heads because of your melody and the way you code shit. It's not as rude as today's R&B to me. You know, I don't like R&B today because of cursing while you're singing. I think that's just backwards, dog. You know, it kind of shows, look, the music was made to serenade the woman. And now they're telling the woman all that they want to do before you even get to first base. You know what I'm saying? What kind of conversation is that? So anybody playing those games, you know, listening to that and then taking that into the real world is going to have a sleazy time, dog. And that's savage. How can how do you tell a person who eats hamburgers every day, yo, try this vegan burger or try this mushroom, whatever the fuck? That's how I feel when I'm, when you're pushing positive music, and I'm saying, what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's not like I come out with music that sounds like Captain Kangaroo, dog. I have to be lyrically destructive when I come. I'm battling the beast. So it's not a thing of if the nursery rhymes sound better than what I'm doing, or Planet Asia or Elo Kush, or so many different cats that bust. It's not about our lyrics anymore. It's about having that sweet spot. You know what I'm saying? And that someone could say, yo, that's my favorite song right there. So you got to give them something. I think with X-Clan, I think PX being the breaking point between my lyrics gave people something to play with. So instead of me having an R&B singer, it was someone coming in with a relaxed tone, some kind of levity to what's happening. Same thing with Flavor Flav.
Balancing it out.
Correct. So people have to realize, a conscious artist, because we telling them, what they should be doing. It's not always get an R&B singer. Get someone that can chat, that, you can understand what they're saying, and they're not so patois that they wondering, like, what the fuck is he saying? And, and they like the rhythm, but they don't understand where you're coming from. You feel me? So you got to be creative. And there's so many different ethnicities that you can pick things from when you're a rebel. You can get hooks in different languages and shit that means something. You can teach people shit. You know, you imagine somebody taking an old Santana joint, you know, where he might have been feeling rebellious, and you mix it into your track, and now you got a popular vocalist in your hook piece. You got to go back to sampling, and this is the one thing, you can't be cheap. You know, you got to pay for the sample or give a percentage of the record to the artist. You got to negotiate. You know, a lot of artists are pleased when you compliment what their original intention was when you sample their music, because this generation, they don't sample. So if you're coming now saying, look, I'm a dope artist, I got a producer that can take this sample and take it somewhere else, Dr. Dre it out, and this is the topic of my song. You know what I'm saying? So if someone was talking about a beautiful woman, you may be talking about her daughter. Or if you're talking about the funk of the cosmos, you may be the next plane of that with the rap instead of the singing. You know, that's what Clan was. We were Parliament Funkadelic, but it was like with the revolutionary situation, and then, you know, we was rhyming and cutting and doing all the shit in the name of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So we complemented the funk. It wasn't like we just had a funk beat underneath us. If you look at George Clinton covers, you see red, black, and green on the mothership. People don't look at those covers deep enough. You know what I'm saying? We didn't make this up. This has been the way for artists who see differently, bro. So, you know, people who are conscious, you're connecting to that mentality. This is where your woke people won't follow, because you got to be true in that place. Okay, you can't come and talk about you have the funk of be acquired. You know, that bop and that shit that we have, that's a natural instinct. That's a natural flow, the way we flex our shit. You can't fake that. So you got to take it there and take it conscious. You know, the fake ones can't chase you there. That should be the pleasure of doing this kind of music. I don't get why that's not translated. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know anything else, bro.
So our question is this, like, if artists are conscious, right? And trying to spread positivity and different messages, it seems like that's a challenging way to do that, right? It seems like you're swimming upstream, right, in this industry as an artist. Why not go another route rather than go through through music? Why not go directly? You know, like, just because it just seems like that's almost. I'm just throwing it out there. It seems like it's almost just like a no-win situation, both financially and or perhaps getting your message across. So your message may get across to a few people, but is it really impacting? And or you may be a really talented artist, but because of what you're saying, you're not even making that bread. Yeah. So it seems like it can be a frustrating thing. So then why do it?
Hey, because you want to inform people, because genuinely in your heart, you really want to, you know, uplift mentality, bro. I don't see it any other way. When you're a messenger, bro. See, I didn't come into this thing saying MCJ. I came in saying the messenger. You feel me? So my intention was different. You know, I wasn't concerned about, we got to have the top contract and all that kind of thing. So my goals are different. But for people who do have that kind of drive and they want to monetize this situation, you got to learn how to write hit records, man. You know, I do music now to fund my efforts. So if I'm building a film, I'll put an album out. And it's a purpose for what it is. It's continued positivity. It's not like, hey, fund me, pay my bills, and so on and so on. No. You know, as a man and as a woman and you know, before artists, you handle your survival or don't play with this, because it does require bread, you know, and you take wins and losses. You know what I'm saying? Because people are prejudiced to this, you know, to this vibration for some reason. And like I said, you know, it's like changing a person's habits, eating habits. You eat burgers every day, you're hitting the Burger King, you got a taste. How can I change you from that? You know, or is that my job to change you from that, dog? You know, maybe I just need to open my shop and whoever just comes by, period. And you just got to walk with that. You know, we need to master marketing. That's where conscious music to me is defeated, because it requires so much money to get radio rotation. If I'm Puff Daddy, I'll buy 15 hours of radio time out of 24 hours and say, this is what I want to hear. You feel me? people who got bread can control, how this shit is received and how people are programmed. So, would you take $200,000 out of your account to push your record? Or do you have the power to go suggest to a bigger label to say, yo, put $100,000 behind me. People will like me.
Right.
You feel me? You have to have those things locked before you even talk about monetizing, or else you just might as well just go be a YouTube favorite. That's it. And that's pennies. That's back to the old bullshit of pennies on the dollar bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So, your close comrades to support you, and that's it. And you got to just let it grow generically. And when the music ground is so oversaturated, how you going to be louder than the next man? Everybody's yelling in the same room trying to be heard. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
So
how can, like, you tried the red pill. I mean, how in 2023 does this music get out there and get, how do we change the, as far, like we talked about different ways, but I mean, in terms of just the marketing and stuff like that, but just, I mean, because it seems like, because my next question, I guess, is like, do the fans want it? Do the fans really?
That's the biggest question.
That's my question.
That's the biggest question, because you can complain all day, but like we said earlier, do you subscribe to the channel that plays something positive to say, yo, I want more of that? I got a 15-year-old daughter, and I'm tired of seeing, twerky shit when she's with her friends. She's imitating the girl who got the award or the one who's on the magazine cover. You feel me? There's not enough of that. People would just turn their eye to it, and then some of them are singing and dancing with their daughters, doing that shit. So that's the other thing. Look, bro, when women get tired of it, it will stop. Okay? It's not until then. Look, bro, it's just the way that shit is set right now. I was explaining today, look, brothers play that music to get the attention of women because it's what was at the club. You know what I'm saying? It's what you were singing when you were sipping that Henny. So it's like, yo, shorty, I know that vibration too. And you bang some music that talks all of the fucking shit. And if shorty's with it, then shorty's with it. How do you combat that? There's no information that could come from my lyrics or anything, no twist that I can do that's going to get you off of that savage connection that you feel. You're not trying to learn about the magnetism. You're trying to learn the savage. Okay? You're not even trying to finesse a woman nowadays. You savage. Your R&B is, yo, girl, I want to lick it. I want to smack it and all this other shit. The whole first verse is nasty, but you got number 2 on the radio and you picking up trophies on stage. So everybody think to be nasty, dog. And then you got to sound like the party pooper to be like, yo, nigga, do y'all party all the time? Is there a time where you really, meditate? The only time niggas meditate when they go to jail. That's ridiculous. You go to jail, you in school, and you got to sit down for a minute, and then you think about everything, and then you want to be positive. Every time. It shouldn't take that. It shouldn't take that. It's ridiculous, bro. That's the only time a nigga will sit still, bro. That's the only time a nigga will sit still and really realize, like, damn, is all that killing I be talking about in my lyrics, is it worth it? Look at Young Thug right now. That dude is really, really talented, dog. You know what I'm saying? He's really talented beyond all the bullshit that in the lyrics and all of that shit. That dude is talented, man. And it's a shame that you tried to code your world into them lyrics. You just couldn't hold that shit. And now they hold all that shit against you, dog. Is it worth it, man? Do you think if he got out tomorrow that he would go back to bang, bang, shoot it up, I shot your moms, I shot your shit? He ain't going there. He going to be the most positive nigga in the world. I thought Lil Wayne was going to change his world too, dog. But the persona that he gives is like the Joker. Like, I'm drugged out and you buy the Joker. This whole civilization worships the goblins and the jokers and the foolishness, and that's what you made Wayne. You know what I'm saying? That's what you've made him. And they have the nerve to tell me, like, yeah, he's very educated and he has these degrees and all this other shit. And I'm saying, yo, outside of what we see outside of the screen, I wouldn't know that. The lyrics are entertaining and everything. It's clever, But dog, if there's a genius side of you, please example it in another way. Just show me some variety. I will fuck with you even harder, dog. Because I fuck with hip hop regardless. I gotta listen to it. Just as a DJ in my element, you know, in my get down, I listen to music from all channels, man. But it's so painful to keep hearing the same thing all the time. I can just note the vocabulary on each song and match it. It's the same shit every time, just twisted in a different way. It's like scrambled eggs, devil eggs, omelet. It's the same egg, though. It's boring to me.
Yeah.
And that's what, with conscious artists, you look, man, look how creative Black Thought and Common, look at all the little dimensions they took cats through. Jill Scott, would have been one of the greatest lyricists in the world. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure the singing was more attractive. Because what you going to get being a positive MC? What you going to be, the next Latifah and shit? What you going to do? There's a ceiling to that, just like WNBA is a ceiling on the female rap shit for some reason. And they're some of the most creative lyricists, bro. I can line up 5 of the top lyricists, female, to destroy male and female right now, though. Ridiculous.
There's a few out there too, and I don't understand it either. There's a few out there that I would also put in that same realm. I mean, man,
you know what?
Said some fucking. Ask your opinion about, because you mentioned it a little earlier about artists. You was like, it can't be like, there's a to be going over. You said you can't be like CNN, to quote you.
Right.
You said, let me when you ready. You good?
Yeah, this cord is not working for some reason. Hold on. That's how you mean. It's technology. I know what to do. Yeah, go ahead, brother. I'll hear you.
No. So you mentioned like you can't be like CNN, right? You know what I mean? And really kind of just go so far over people's heads. So I wanted to ask your opinion about like Immortal Technique. Not just not trying to criticize or anything. Like a lot of people fuck with him as a conscious artist. I like a lot of. I don't know if you're familiar with him or not.
Yes.
You familiar?
Yes.
Yeah. So I rock with, I don't rock with everything he said and stuff, but I think he's an intelligent brother, got his head on straight, and I think he, says a lot of things. And I think he can rap. I think he can spit his ass off. However, it's hard for me to listen to a full album of like just like super duper just in your face. I feel like I gotta go start. I feel like I can't listen to him unless I'm about to really go like burn down like the White House or something.
Yeah.
And I'm not criticizing. I like his music. I like his music. I think he's a good MC. I'm bringing another. He just comes to my mind first. I like a lot of stuff he says. I'm just going being objective here about as far as listening to like 10 joints of like just heavy duty. And I don't know, the word escaping me right now. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's very intense. It's different than what Rage Against the Machine was doing. Like Rage Against the Machine was very intense, but it wasn't like the FBI is on my ass and they're doing this and this and that. We're playing with terminologies and shit that are very intense. It paints an intense picture, and there's an audience for that. A lot of horrorcore people listen to Immortal Technique. Necro was part of that brand. If I'm not mistaken, they were on the same label and shit. And Necro was like real raw, like Chino Excel raw and shit. You know what I'm saying? So these cats kick intense situations for people to be, on that edge and shit. So, there's an audience for that. When I say CNN, like, I'm not going to take a current event and spell it out in a lyric to regurgitate what we already know. I'm gonna make it artistic. And, you know what I'm saying? And poetic. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to say fuck the president. You may say something clever like Chuck D, impeach the president, pulling out my ray gun. You know what I'm saying? You may say something like that instead of "fuck the president" and impeach Reagan. You feel
Right.
what I'm saying? You may be creative with it. So I'm saying people are losing their code and getting more into like, let me tell you what it is. Let it be known that I said it. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Be poetic. You know what I'm saying? Don't be that kind of person, because that's why they don't give us those opportunities. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because they feel that you're going to be outlandish at the wrong time. I give you a
Ah,
t-shirt
yeah.
slide. You know,
Yeah,
you pull out
unpredictable.
the red, black, and green jumpsuit and say "fuck Biden" and this, that, and this explode the world. They don't know what we're capable of.
Unpredictable.
If yeah, that's what they always called red, black, and green. Black nationalists. They used to call them communists. Because we're not going with the way.
Right.
So so that band kind of spills into the music now. You imagine if the top conscious heads was in power like Jay-Z and all these other cats are and shit, and the type of shit that they would do in those positions.
Oh, of course. Radical changes.
Correct.
Swift.
Because the
Swift.
money's there, because you don't have to ask for the money now. If you didn't have to go through the money, permission to get that bread, then you can be free to roam the country.
Radical.
But if you had to get permission, now remember, marketing is permission, bro. It's not, I put my pennies in a jar, let me pay you for some airtime and shit. It has to be permission.
Right.
Because you can go on and get the highest airtime and raise sponsorship money, and then go fuck up on the air and say something wild. The world is flat. This, that, and the other. Imagine, if Kanye was really on bullshit, the type of followers that he has, dog.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If he really, really was on some bullshit, you know what I'm saying? It would be crazy.
Right. Crazy. Like super crazy.
Yeah, when those guys do that, that's not a conscious move. You move without telling us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You move without telling us what's happening and shit. We sitting here shocked like, oh shit, nigga, we should have been behind what's happening, to kind of, let it be seen as a people's vibration and shit. But you go and make these stark moves,
Yeah.
and you don't let us know what time it is, dog. We can't be a movement and a force together. And then I got to be a fan to follow you from this point. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't shit happening. What do? You call out what we already know, and then what? You go hide in the church? What are we getting from that?
Mm.
What are we getting from that? So that's not that. That's not. When you do your next album, that shit has to be powerfully conscious. You can't go back to, leather pants and smack my girl on the ass and all this other bullshit. You can't go back there, dog. You can't go back there. It would be hypocritical right now for you to call out that the beast made me do it and then go back and do the same shit. This will be the beginning of Kanye West truly being a conscious artist. So the lifestyle and the music should match each other. It shouldn't be two separate things. Cats will tell you in a minute, well, yo, I gotta eat. So sometimes I talk a little shit in my lyrics. I don't even like having a conversation with niggas like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make sense to me.
For bullshit. Everybody want to have a little escape valve for their fuck shit. And that's
Correct.
what that is. I gotta
Correct,
eat. Do not use the fucking excuse of money to be a dickhead or to put out bullshit or to be fucking or to not have integrity. How about that?
Hey.
Like, yeah, people use money all the time as an excuse for not having integrity. Fuck that. Stop. Stop that. We froze up. Oh yeah, stop that shit.
Yeah. So where did the definition of sellout change? You feel me? If you're doing it for the coin to say, yo, I gotta eat, so I rhyme like this. You know how many artists are in the game right now known for being gangsters and killers and shit that were prolific conscious artists like Magic writers, dog, and writing that song mode that we talking about, that missing enzyme. You know what I mean? Niggas out there like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Talented women writers that just say, yo, that shit don't sell. I could write that shit, but this nigga pays me to describe the body in ways that, they don't even understand that they're participating in porn. This is the porn market mixing with hip hop, dog.
Then they're not really conscious. I'll say that.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what
right.
I mean?
That's right. You can't
At the end of
straddle
the
the
day,
fence.
at the end of the day, it was all some fluff and some bullshit. And anybody can talk some bullshit. I mean, see, look at any. So at the end of the day, if you're either about it or you're not. You know what I'm saying? Either you're willing to say, okay, my spiritual teacher used to say, yo, when you choose to be conscious or choose to go against this fucking material bullshit, well, he didn't say bullshit, but he's like,
Yes.
you're swimming upstream. You're going against the grain, right?
Correct.
And all this other shit's coming at you saying, do this, eat this, buy this, fuck this, da 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 da, and you're choosing to go against that shit. That's an avalanche, man, that people are choosing to go against. So fuck that.
Correct. And what you're talking about requires endurance. All
Yeah,
right. You can't get tired. You know, that's why niggas say freedom or death. Period. There's no turning around for me like, oh, I've been going upstream for a long time. I think I'm just gonna turn around. You're already built to go upstream. You know what I'm saying? You're built for that. You know what I'm saying? You got to get to a point where the stream goes in another direction and you're away out of this foolishness completely. You have to have faith that there's another avenue. All right. That's the only way you'll stop swimming upstream. You got to know what you're looking for.
right.
All right. Cats swimming upstream don't know what they're looking for. Like, hey, I just been here going upstream all my life. No, I'm looking for that little piece that connects to this bitch that's going to make it easier for me to float where more of my kind are sitting. You got to have faith in that. All right. I tell cats all the time, join something. Join something positive. That is the root of you being a conscious artist. Just you being a spaceman, talking about how the universe and the stars shine and how to eat and all this other shit. That's not what's happening. You got to be a messenger for something. Join something. Now you're a warrior for a certain understanding. So if you're into combat, join the dojo. Push self-defense. You come into town, make 2 checks. Come teach the kids some martial arts and then go do a show later on, a family event where everybody can come. And now you're making 2 checks. How many people can do that? When they gave it to the Nas X dude, he had him fucked up. Coming there with the Woody outfit and cowboy shit and coming in to entertain these kids, they all singing, and then you flip your script and you misguide these kids. And then at the same time that they're getting the gay BCs and all kind of shit in school, this dude flips the script and becomes an over-sexualized motherfucking artist. So imagine all the kids that were diehard fans. And I say to conscious people, like, you wouldn't want to break that frequency by bringing someone that's 10 times doper than his motherfucking ass and just erase him off the chart. You wouldn't want to write for a young champion and shit that can go out there and knock all that shit down. Because some niggas are too old to do it, my lord. You know what I'm saying? And if you didn't start at a certain time frame, dog, you know what I'm saying? If you haven't been in it all your life and you're known for that, man, at some point, you might have to realize, maybe I'm a writer. Maybe I'm a person that sets the video up right so people can portray positive people in the same way, because this is where those artists beat us. Once you get that life insurance money and you start doing videos every fucking day, you've already beat the conscious artists who got 1 video every 2 years, because they're not going to take out their pocket to go and do some shit. They feel like I'm positive and labels should pay me. The devil's behind the desk. That's why I don't get my shit on. Stop being stupid, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to be dope, period. You got to learn. When you're playing with the big boys, you got to be dope, man. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And once cats realize that and get off it, you got to find a way to make a better hook than whoever's the top shit. If you tired of hearing lick it and suck it and fuck it and shit, then you got to find something that is not equal to that, but overrides that. I don't want to be equal with that bullshit. I know there's a higher success than selling yourself out to throw fucking hip-hop porn to these generations of fucking music. We look like assholes. I have never seen a country Lil Wayne. I keep saying this, bro. I've never seen a country Lil Wayne. I've never seen someone in classical looking like Tekashi 6ix9ine. You know, they put all the dump on hip-hop. So we don't even know what it looks like anymore. So when I go look up on the Google and say, man, who's some of the top conscious females? I'm just curious what the world thinks. And
you can't even find shit.
Yeah, I see names. You just Foxy Brown. You got Little Kim, you calling names like that, and then at the top you'll say Latifah, Light, so on and so on. And they weren't necessarily, some of those people were not necessarily conscious, they were just positive.
Yeah, they weren't.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were just positive. It wasn't like, you know, because they may be conscious in their lifestyle, but when I listen to Lauryn Hill versus MC Light, there is a difference, bro.
Oh yeah, I mean that's just a reach. That's not real people know that MC Light wasn't conscious. I mean, she was a dope MC, a lot of party joints. She could spit. She had different topics. You know what I'm saying? She didn't sell her ass to make money. I mean, and she was good at what she did. But like nobody would confuse her. I mean, we shouldn't. That's some bullshit. It's like, look, okay, MC Light, any woman, female, let's just dump her in. Whoever, like, you know what I mean? Nah, not every.
Hey, but if it's never been defined, then they're going to take the history and write it the way they
did. Yeah, welcome back, everybody. Episode 26, Constant Elevation, with Brother Jay, myself, Tamal, and we're talking conscious hip hop, a lot of different things. Why, you know, does the music need to be good? Yes. You know, what are some of the obstacles? And there's plenty of them. Sometimes it's the artists themselves. We're seeing. So, do the fans even want it? Right? Like. That's a big.
Yeah, it has to have replay value, bro. You know what I'm saying? When you do "We Are the World," it's not like Michael Jackson "Off the Wall." "Off the Wall" has replay value. All right, "We Are the World" does not have replay value. It's like one of those things that you experience, and it's like, yo, that was dope, and you might play that shit once a year.
Yeah, because it was also for a specific time, like that one event, you know, that whole time, like, so yeah, like it's not gonna hold up as far as it's over, you know, you're not gonna play that shit on the way home from work, you know what I mean? Like,
correct. And this is why, you know, Tupac won in a lot of places, because you think about a song like "Dear Mama," you know what I'm saying? That's a positive situation. You pulling heartstrings on both man and woman on a song like that. You know what I'm saying? That becomes someone's favorite song. When people hear that shit, yo, that's my favorite song. This is where conscious artists have to tap in. You know what I'm saying? They have to tap in. You may have to see yourself as, you know, the other side of the street, but we're in the same neighborhood. All right? You gotta, you know what I'm saying? This being in reality right now. You can't act like you're a foreigner, you know, to what we need to hear as far as black music is concerned. You can't make up no new shit. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta stay in groove with shit. Right. You know, that's why you travel, so you can see what other people listen to. Somebody in Minnesota is not listening to what somebody in LA is listening to. So you know, when you're building an album, you gotta have variety. You just can't force yourself on people and be like, yo, my style is the best and my words twist the fastest, and you know, I'm verbally acrobatic and all these other things, and you just playing with words, dog. You doing the Dr. Zeus, you know. And we need scholar activity, you know, creativity and composition, man. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta know how to be humble to a producer. You gotta be willing to dig. Look, my whole production team has been with me forever. They know me. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to say, yo, make me sound like this nigga or that nigga and shit to them. Right. You know, their ear is already to the street. You know, if we're not digging in crates no more, then what are we doing? Whatever that is, I expect them to be on that. Just like they expect me to be ready lyrically to face whatever level of generation is in front of me. You know what I'm saying? When you see it like that, it's not about rap for rap and bar for bar. That's some kiddie shit. Like, you know, who had the best punchlines? You know, hip hop is comedy, dog. You know, you look at a lot of cats. Yeah, man, you look at a lot of cats that's out here. You know, somebody like Biggie might have been like, what's Bebe Kid? Robin Harris. He might have been like that. You know what I'm saying? He might have been one of them kind of niggas if he wasn't an MC, because most of the punchlines that niggas quote from him are funny shit. It's not like building shit. It's not like, oh shit, you know, oh shit, I didn't think about it like that. You know, like a Mos Def would say, you know, or someone like a Common would say, or Black Thought would say. You know what I'm saying? Those dudes dig in lyrically, and you're not going to tell me that Biggie Small is better than Black Thought. You're not going to sit there and tell me that. But by the way the industry would look, they make it like Biggie Small is the biggest artist ever in the history of whatever. Like he's Michael Jackson of hip hop, and that's not everybody's taste, my nigga.
Yeah, no, it's a weird phenomenon that goes on there as far as the elevation. I thought I could spit, but yeah, I'm with you on that one. So we're gonna get into. We're gonna go back and forth for a few artists. We're gonna share, who we think is carrying the torch for conscious music in 2023. Not necessarily old, even if they're old heads, and maybe who's still doing it from back in the day. But so we'll do about 3 or 4 each. I'll let you set it off. The first one.
I feel some of the names I just mentioned. I say Black Thought. I say somebody like a Planet Asia. I say somebody like Tri-State. I say people like Cyrock. Chuck D still touring and he don't do booty music. KRS still spitting. You feel me? Pharoah Monch don't kick no negativity. You know what I'm saying? And Wise Intelligent. Of course, Lauren. I could name, and I can go underground. I can come back up.
Let's go underground. I mean, let's go people that, because you named some obvious ones. Some people that the people maybe haven't heard of. Because I have some people here that I have those on my list, but some people that maybe people haven't heard of that, because they're not going to be around forever. They're all old.
I like Napoleon.
Napoleon the Legend.
Yes.
Yep. I got him on. Big up to him. I got him on my list.
I like
Yes.
him. I like Elo Kush. He always building, and he keeps that Brooklyn style. I guess how cats like that Wu or they like that Griselda. He can go into that zone, but he always stay guard with his shit. So I like him. And then I will do another honorable mention of Tri-State. He don't write no booty shit. He keeps that hot pen alive. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people know Casual well enough. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really think they understand what that is either. And also Mr. Fab is ill too. His topics are everywhere, but he's a positive dude and he does good shit in the.
Let's stop for a second. So hold on. Oh, he froze up. We're gonna be back in this 1, 2.
Can you see me?
Oh, all right, there you go. All right, so I want to go to a couple. I want to touch on a couple. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I want to touch on a couple of names that you mentioned, just to give them this proper respect. Big up Elo Kush. And I like what you said about his style. Who else did you? Oh, Napoleon the Legend. Yes, I have him on here, and I just wanted to, definitely give him his flowers because he does it he spits a lot of knowledge, but he's spitting over dope beats. He's giving it to you. He can go in French. You want it in French. You want it Afrobeat. He got you whatever. So so this is what I was gonna tell you. Mine in relation to that because his friend, homegirl, whatever, I don't know. He's rocking with Nejma Nefertiti. It's just I think I got put on to her through him. They got a bunch of joints together, albums. She's fire. I'm telling you, yo.
I don't think I've heard her. I might have seen her on one of these little TikTok or something.
Nah, she don't even be doing them just like that. She puts out a lot of joints. She's an activist, in a lot of different ways in New York. I think she's in New York based. But yo, she's ridiculous with the bars. But she said something she said, "Catch me in a hoodie or in a kufi or something like." So she's fucking ridiculous, man.
I support the sisters getting down, man. Kay Turner impressed me as well. You
Okay,
know,
yeah, yes, yes, you know the
yeah,
pages.
she's dope too, man. She impressed me, and Star is impressive. She's a veteran. She's been around for a minute, so artists like that. Even Soulflower is ill. She grew up in the ranks of Chris's camp and shit. So there's a lot of sisters who can get down. My favorite lyricist, I think between K Love and then Sonny Patterson, I don't really think there's too many females that can fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? I put bread on that. You know what I'm saying? Sonny Patterson is ill, somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Her spoken word and everything. And if she was to take to the hip hop realm, my dog, it would be a problem. It would be a problem. And same thing with K Love. K Love the poet.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. K
I,
Love the poet. You got to listen to her. She's dope. It's different.
I'm
Her intelligence, it displays different. If niggas want to know what that female element is, that conscious element like that, they need to listen to her. Go to her page and
okay.
just close your eyes and press one, my nigga.
All right, all right.
Real shit.
I one I got is my man Saint Ivan the Terrible. He's out of the Bronx, and he spit. I just did a little post on him. He spits like hard bars, but it's all jewels. Like
Yes.
so, like it's like so it's some Timberland like Avirex coach shit, but
Yes.
but it's all jewels. It ain't like no. There's no like you're not sorting through it. I mean, it's just all jewels. You know what I mean? But it's hard. The beats are hard, and it's just But it's like, and I fuck with it because it appeals to the side of me that likes that music.
Yes.
But all jewels. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so
And that's a good thing to hear. That's refreshing for people who have accepted peace in their life. That's the other side of being the listener to this music. You gotta know what peace in your life is first for you to understand positive vibrations coming at you. You don't even, you won't understand what the hell is going on. The words will be gibberish to you. So it's a matter of upgrading the mental. That's why we say conscious music. It's not just the artist being that way. It's the audience being that next connection to make that shit happen. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a missing ingredient. They looking for messiahs and shit, to come and tear down the devil industry and shit. But the other side, the reciprocity in this conscious music that we're talking about, or conscious platform, is the people saying, this is what I fuck with, period. Don't bring me the candy rap. Don't bring me any of that other foolishness. I'm not dealing with that. Then you start to see cats changing their lyrics when that happens. Because if they're not getting the sale, it's not going to happen. And you don't have to simplify or water yourself down, but you do have to bring some of the intensity down. You know what I'm saying? And understand that there's a beat underneath you, and it's not you just rapping and just occasionally leaning back on the snare, my nigga. You got to be a part. If you listen to how a Puff Daddy does a song, he's dancing while he's rhyming. Okay? When you listen to his shit, I don't even tell you that we won't stop. I don't even tell you that we won't stop. You, all right? He's obeying the laws of dance and rhythm. Now, you take most conscious artists, they coming off wordy. All right? Just in that little 2 bars or whatever, they done said about 800 words because there's so much shit to say.
right,
And you don't want to miss a beat because you think like that spotlight is only like 2 minutes. It's
right.
5 minutes for others, but only 2 minutes for you. So you don't want to be the fuck up to be like, yo, nigga, why did you do that song? Why didn't you do the little happy shit, to lure them in or whatever the fuck may be? Or why didn't you do your, around the way shit? That's a problem, dog. Look, man, the whole of Wu was builders, okay? How
Talked
do we
about that.
And just because the A&R like to hear about the stories of when they was on their low, to a point where you selling crack to your brethren and smoking woolers in the fucking staircase and all kind of shit. You got a nigga who want to hear you on your down rather than your enlightenment, building on that math and showing how you use math when you go around the world and so on. So you only get cracks and crevices of that. You don't get the whole shit, the whole build. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think that ceiling hit them so quickly. You know, it's still popular, of course, but where it could have been going for generations and the baton kept passing. You know what I'm saying? Look at Killer Priest. If Killer Priest doesn't have a song where you can just sing yo and sing the hook, we going straight to Heavy Mental. And Heavy Mental's like, what, 5 minutes long or some shit, of straight lyrics and shit. And how many times are you playing that? And it's not a diss on him. It's just that, yo, man, I would like to hear a song from you. Just like how Meth has a song, all right? That you would say, oh, that shit with Mary or Method Man when he was singing MATHOD. He's playing with the lyrics. So we need that kind of lyric from a Killer Priest, from Sons of Man, from Timbo King. You know, niggas who build in those circles like that. You understand me? So, you know, even Gravediggers, they got caught in the twist of the horrorcore and forgot about the God side of the bill. You feel what I'm saying? They got caught up in the horrorcore. You remember that shit?
I remember.
And this was a little side project for, you know, for Jizza and shit. And you could have got off all the jewels in the world because Gravediggers was basically like white label for a hot minute before it became anything. People like the beat. And them niggas was just so wild on the dark side of the mind and the whole shit, nigga, that was this clear route for y'all to just build like the guards with them crazy ass street beats and shit, nigga. Somewhere we get lost in the sauce, God, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, it is the wilderness, man. It's easy to get turned around. I mean, easy to get spun around, right? Even with you got a compass. You might throw the compass down and be like, oh, this shit don't work. I'm going to go my own way. Fuck the compass.
And
right?
that happens every time.
People do that all the time. How many times if people
every time
forsaken good advice? I mean, so
these are the reasons. This is the question that you ask. Like, why is the conscious music not doing this? And what is it that the artists are missing? The closer they get to the candy house, bro, they start peeling off their robe. They start taking off their head wrap. They start bugging the fuck out sometime. And that's why I say you got to have your discipline in place when you're dealing with the entertainment system. And you can't be butt tight when you make deals. You can't distribute your record in Russia. You can't distribute your record in Australia. I don't give a fuck if it's digital or physical. You don't have the power to market. You're going to have to make a deal. So your music has to be attractive to markets, okay? To multiple markets. So you have to realize in your mind that you got to learn how to make a hit record and not just rhyme for someone to stand up and clap and say, oh, that was so positive. Yes, we need more of that. You waiting for that pat on the back. That means absolutely nothing, dog. That shit means absolutely nothing. If you really want to get into entertainment, you got to do your fucking homework, man. You got to see what a good deal is versus a bad deal. You got to see if you even worth a deal. All right? I tell niggas all the time, you can play ball in the gym real good, but if I put you on a professional floor, you will see your flaws.
Right.
And other niggas are out there trying to eat and you trying to get a slot. There's only but so many slots. Niggas think there's a million slots. There's a million ways for you to put out music, but it ain't a million slots. All right? That's the realest shit that I can kick. There ain't a million slots, though. There's a million places for you to put your music out on. But that slot, the reason that your girl dressed like Beyonce, the reason that she'll go buy Cardi B's kicks and all of that kind of shit, those are slots, my nigga. You know? And I don't know too many people who got them slots without having to sacrifice or, you know, niggas dig back in your file and make you a slave or whatever the fuck this. All them slots is taken on some deep slave shit, like rich slave shit. You know, people got to ask, do you really want fame? What are you doing this music for? If you're a positive artist, you're not doing it for a slot. You're doing it to empower the people, period. And you got to find a way to monetize that. Like I said, reciprocity. If you have goods, then someone should pay you for that or put donation towards your situation. All right? So if you're a street minister, then you should be able to accept donations. I'm giving a jewel, my nigga. You should be able to accept donations for your craft. Okay? So, you know, everybody can't be a preacher, but there are motherfuckers out there that can preach really well. So that music is your preach. That is your communication to the masses, your frequency. Is it worth someone taking their hard-earned money from working all week to invest in your situation? Are you going to make them, you know, stand up in their sunroof and let their titties out, man, and rock like, you know, like Beyonce and Victory and shit, nigga? You know, these people be touching frequencies in people, bro. It's not a joke. There's 50,000 frequencies that Beyonce touched. They can talk all that devil woman shit that they want to, but her producers put some serious material behind her, dog. We can start singing favorites for the past 3 years. And just keep singing and singing and singing and singing and singing. People putting out work while people are complaining about these people. All right, where's the next Gladys Knight? Where's the next Tina Turner? You know what I'm saying? That doesn't curse. I don't know Tina Turner to sing a song and be cursing. All right? I listened to 5 R&B shorties yesterday because I was doing a little homework to say, damn, you know, who's clean R&B? Who's singing like, you know, like back in the days and shit, like some of the artists and shit.
Anita Baker, I mean, like...
There's none of that. There's none of that. And if you see any of that, it's on American Idol, and then it'll go on there and they'll win an award and disappear. Why the fuck is Fantasia not #1? She was the best singer on that whole entire contest, and Jennifer Hudson. But you hear more about their personal boyfriend, girlfriend, and gossip and all this other shit, and you never see their Gladys Knight. You never see their Anita Baker. You never see their styles. Because the platform was so square where they're on, why aren't there Black American Idols shows that are popping with heavy marketing like that, bro? That doesn't make sense to me. But yet the industry makes enough for the Baby to have 30 mil, and then Wayne to have 100 mil, Dre to be a billionaire, all of this money. Yeah, we don't have 1 or 2 Stevie Wonders, Marvin Gaye. We don't have none of that.
We got all fuck shit. It's all goofy. It's all goofy,
hey,
man.
Man, you know who has the closest path to really grasping the generation? That Kendrick Lamar, dog.
Yeah,
and I know you don't fuck with it.
Nah, yeah, you said that before. Now, we talked, but I did agree with you on that point, though. When we first brought it up, I mean, as far as like, you know what I'm saying, influence and stuff like that. Like, I don't really rock with his music, but I mean, but I agree with you on the point as far as like, I feel like I've heard him talk. I feel like he's an intelligent brother, and
that dude is different.
And has
he's different.
He's got people that fuck with him. So yeah, I mean, I absolutely think so.
Yo, dog, he's different, and plus, he's had the Dre training. So his method of making songs and shit now has to be ridiculous with that kind of lyrical flow, and now they pay you to do that. He's like a Kyrie Irving of hip hop to me. You know what I'm saying? The way he gets down, because it's wizardry, dog. You know, the way he fucked that Isley Brothers up, that shit was incredible. I Love Myself. That's a perfect conscious record. If people want an example of what it sounds like, you feel me? All that feel good, the way he was rocking that fucking beat, dog. That shit was several levels of dope to me. It was Mos Def. It was Outkast. It was different. The production flowed with what the fuck was going on lyrically, dog. You know what I'm saying? He cursed a little bit too much for me, and the shit that he did with SZA kind of turned me off. The sex shit, some shit about pussy, and it was wild, you know. But I know there's an audience for everything. You know what I'm saying? That's not my cup of tea. But I know lyrically, he has balls like a motherfucker. You came to New York and said, who won it? And nobody stepped up at all. You know what I'm saying? Then you went on to sell millions of fucking records and shit. I think that's incredible. I mean, Nas has never went to the West Coast and said like, yo, who won it? I'm coming through. me and Premier or whoever the fuck is coming through the stomp. That nigga came through with Dre and all of them niggas and said, yo, who won it? I take anybody in the city and when he did the fucking New York, whatever the fuck it was, some shit,
Yeah.
and destroyed it. Come on, bro. I said, not only are you nice, you got nuts.
Yeah.
And that's revolutionary. That's why they fuck with Tupac, because he had nuts. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, he wasn't the best lyricist in the world to me at all.
Not at all.
Any means. You know what I'm saying? But he had a particular, he had a journeyman's flavor. You can hear the Bay in his shit. You can hear the LA in his shit. You can hear the New York in his shit. He'll get a little taste for that. That's what the little popping that Biggie was. He showed he had the heart enough to go in these places. And when you got heart, dog, that wins the battle. I don't give a fuck.
Because most people don't have it. So they're living through that. Like they're like, damn, this nigga got getting shot up coming out the studio, like coming out the shit, like what? Fuck y'all, like what?
Yeah, fuck you, nigga, on everything. And that's why that dude is like Elvis Presley, fucking Tupac. God bless him. They never will let go, dog. They always feel it's the favorite of the favorite and the favorite, but it's like you didn't accomplish your mission, dog. You want a thug life to be positive. You didn't want it to be like every nigga doing half-ass, just accept yourself there and you don't have to grow any further. That's not what the fuck the purpose of what the fuck that was. He kind of got like a Clarence 13X kind of shit, like you didn't complete the mission. And niggas took the math and did something else with it. They started making shit up. You know what I'm saying? And forgot the intention of the founder who started whatever the fuck you following or your fucking banner you're carrying. So, cats don't get to complete their shit, bro. So, these little half-ass movements and niggas straddling the fence, hip-hop allows you to do that because there's no fucking rules.
Right.
That's why it's corny as fuck right now.
Indeed. on that note, I got another show coming up. We're doing an after party with a man, Save the Hip Hop Culture, Sec, and that's always a fun build. And he's salute to him for coming up with this topic for us to get into and really peel away. Man, thank you. It was great. Everybody got a lot of stuff out of it, man. So that was a good one.
Yay, family. Great topic to build on, man. Always try to give it to the people, man.
Yeah, no, it was good. So we'll get this up on our YouTube channel. I got some clips here that we're gonna be posting soon and everything. If you support, man, let people know this is what we're doing. I mean, and we're always trying to share something positive and people get something out of this. We got a legend on the show, just sharing jewels for an hour every month. So we do this the first Wednesday of each month.
Yeah.
So like I said, all of our joints are on the YouTube channel.
And I want to let you know this before we break, man, and the audience that's with us, that I found a place for us to upgrade our build, man, so we can sit in the same studio together. So
we got. So thank you for making that. You made it.
Yeah, I want to let the people know that.
The fact that you shared that publicly just now, it means like a lot. So
yay, brother. I think we deserve like a up and smoke type of setup and whatnot. So I finally found a place that we can do that. So we're gonna rap about that.
Yeah. Let's talk about that within the next few days. Definitely.
Yay, no doubt. Hit me up when we get off, man.
Wow. So yeah, I'll do that. So absolutely. So salute. And salute, big up everybody for being, that's going to be dope. So big up everybody. I'm smiling ear to ear. Let's talk. I got to go. We'll get this talk to you soon. All right, salute, man. I'll talk to you in a minute.
All right, family. Salute to everybody.
Big up to everybody joining in. Peace.
Peace.